In this video, I'm going to show you how to schedule a meeting for Google Hangouts from your calendar. So I'm already in my calendar. You can see here calendar.google.com. Or if I was in another Google tool, like let's say I was starting from my Drive or starting from my Gmail, here in the waffle, there's an option for calendar. So I just happen to be looking at the daily view for my calendar. If you're not familiar with calendar, you can see there's other options, week, month, so on and so forth. But I want to kind of keep it clean, so I'm just on the day view. To add an event for a video conference, you go into your calendar and you click or drag whenever the event's going to occur. There's a few options you want to add in here. The first thing is the title. So I'm going to just do a test meeting in this case. That would be a description of whatever the meeting is. So it might be morning meeting, advisory meeting, literacy circle, group discussion on whatever, parent check-in, wherever the meeting is. All right. Going through, you can see it shows again when the date and the time is. You can schedule meetings, far in advance. It could be weeks or months ahead of time just by going through your calendar and selecting and dragging. Add guests. That would be where you would invite people to the meeting. Now, if you're inviting students that have school email and or colleagues, you could then click in there and just add in their school address, like so. In this case, I'm going to schedule a meeting that is not going to invite any specific people. So I'm going to invite a meeting that's going to generally be for parents who may not even have Google accounts. All right, it's pretty similar. So again, I would click and drag whatever the title is, but instead of adding guests, I would just go down here to where it says location or conferencing and click in there. Now, the location would be if there's a physical place that you'd be doing a meeting, like a face-to-face meeting. But there's also this place that says add conferencing. So if I click on that, it automatically gives me this link to join a Google Hangouts meet. All right. And if I click on the little area next to this arrow, it gives me even more information. Okay. So you can see when I schedule this meeting, it's going to give me an address for the meeting. It's also going to give me a phone number with a PIN number. So if you have families or parents that can't join the meeting because they don't have internet, they don't have a computer, you could call them ahead of time, give them the phone number and the PIN number, and then they could call into the meeting. They wouldn't be able to see anyone, but they would be able to communicate with everyone in the meeting, hear what everyone's saying, and speak to participate, and everyone in the meeting can hear them. So it's kind of like a conference call. Okay. Now, for people who do have internet access and do have a computer, right here where it has the meeting ID, what you could do is you could take all of this information here, you could copy it, start a new email, paste it in, and send it to parents. I recommend BCC blind carbon copying your parents if you're sending out mass information like this. That would give them a link that would to the meeting that then at the time of the meeting they could call in even if they don't have a Google account. Um, if needed, you could also, I suppose, you could call and give them the address to the meeting, but that might, be a little more awkward. But that's also an option. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. I'm going to actually copy just the meeting URL for a minute. I'm going to show you why, and I'm going to save that meeting. All right. So when it comes time to the meeting, as the facilitator, I could then go to my calendar and click on Join Hangouts Meet, and it would get the meeting ready. All right. So in this case, I could then join the meeting again as a facilitator, and I'm in. And right now, I can see at the top, I'm the only one in the meeting. All right. So I'm going to just mute my microphone for a minute, and I'm going to open another browser. All right. So I'm in Firefox right now, And let's say I'm going in as a parent participant with either no Google account or at least no school Google account. All right. So I got this link here emailed to me by my child's teacher, and then at the time of the meeting, I go click onto it. Now, since this is the first time I've joined a meeting, I've never set up my browser. It's going to ask me to confirm my microphone and my camera. And then you can see up here where it says sign in, I'm not signed into Google. In this case, as the parent, I don't have a Google account. But it does ask me what's my name, all right? So if I have the link, the next step would be to identify myself. So I will be the other Jeff Coburn. Not like the world needs two Jeff Coburns, but there we go. So you'd want to have some communication with your parents and families ahead of time in terms of how they identify themselves in the meeting. They could do something as simple as so-and-so's parents. You could give them some kind of pseudonym, like if you want them to be listed in the meeting kind of anonymously, or you're trying to have a little bit of fun, right? We could have Julia Roberts in the meeting and Johnny Depp. You could do stuff like that, and then when participants looked at the meeting list, they wouldn't necessarily know the other parents were on if there were a bunch of them. But that's an option. So after I put in my name, I click on Ask to Join again as the parent, and I'm kind of in this waiting pattern. So I'm going to hop back over as the facilitator. You can see it says someone wants to join this meeting, and this is the name of the person who wants to join. So if I recognize the name because I contacted that family, or that's their secret code that I told them to put in to join, or their pseudonym, then I could click on Admit. And then you can see I would have 2 people up there. So if I hop back over, you can already hear that I can hear myself talking because I have the other conference going, all right? Because I'm in twice. So I'm going to leave the call as the parent, and then I'm going to leave the call as the facilitator. And it's that simple. So again, it was a matter of dragging to schedule the meeting, clicking on the meeting information, highlighting it, copying, pasting, send it to parents in an email. They would then click on the link, right, for the meeting. It would ask them to join as a guest. If they're not logged in with any Google account, they don't have a Google account, they can put in that super secret pseudonym or their name, whatever you guys decide is most appropriate. And then as a facilitator, I approve them to enter the meeting. So hopefully that helps in your future video conferencing endeavors.